Yo, what's going on, Wazzers? My name is Nathan Vlog, and today we are back with Conspiracy Theories with Shane Dawson. It's going to be the last part of part 1, apparently. This is part 1. But yeah, guys, we're going to react to this, so let's just do this because you've probably seen part 1 and part 2 already of my videos, reactions, and let's do this. Let's go. Play.
Now, one of the theories that was going viral involved a
Pause,
fire,
play.
and people said that the path of the fire was identical to the blueprint of the high-speed rail system. Now, I'm not going to fully go into this theory because it was pretty quickly debunked. I mean, if you put the maps on top of each other, they don't really line up, and it's not actually the fire path, it was the evacuation zones, but that's a whole other thing. There's still many other theories as to why the fire started, and one of them involves a very scary place called the Santa Susana Field Laboratory. So this was a massive government testing lab, and it was used for testing rockets. In Area 4 of the lab is where they used to experiment on nuclear reactors. Well, in 1959, there was a partial nuclear meltdown, and the area to this day has still not been completely cleaned up.
Some of the fuel rods partially melted. The damage turned out to be very extensive.
Now, these practices were halted a long time ago, but as we know, contamination doesn't just go away.
That means there's been dangerous nuclear waste
apparently.
all over the area for the last 60 years.
It will take centuries to clean up the groundwater in
I know.
Louisiana. Centuries.
Is this site seriously contaminated?
The site has a lot of contamination.
Well, the Santa Susana Field Lab is also famous for another reason. It's where the Woolsey fire started.
There is mounting evidence that the fire started at the Santa Susana Field Lab. It's an area that is still highly contaminated with radioactive waste.
That's right. The fire started inside that area at an intersection called Test Area Road. Huh.
It was the site of one of the very first atomic reactor meltdowns in the entire world.
Not just nuclear, but different fuels, experiments for the space program.
Now how the fire started is still unclear. The theory is that the government purposely planted explosions in that test area so that they could release an abundance of nuclear chemicals into the air.
Because some of the almost 3,000 acres that encompasses that site contaminated with those toxic materials that I just told you about, which is one of the worst in the world, that's where the California fire is partly now burning.
Now, over the years, there's been reports that show living close to this nuclear meltdown site has already caused an increased risk in cancer and so many other things to the people that have been living close to that.
There are cancer clusters of various kinds of exotic cancers all around this site.
0.003% of the nation is that average for childhood cancer. I can name 10 children that I know personally who live within 3 to 5 miles of my house.
So of course, when there's a fire there and there's a huge cloud of smoke that is billowing, that is probably filled with nuclear chemicals, and it's traveling all across Southern California.
You can see all of that smoke and haze continues to blanket most of the Southland tonight.
People are gonna freak out.
The wind is just pushing all of the smoke in all of directions.
When the fire incinerated all of the grass and the trees, that probably
This is scary with this music and stuff.
Contamination.
What can be in the smoke and is presumably there
It's so impacting.
radionuclides plus chemical toxins.
Is putting all of us no longer just at risk,
In danger.
in harm.
Now, I started freaking out too. I mean, everybody in my neighborhood was wearing masks. And it wasn't just conspiracy theorists freaking out about it, it was everyone.
Look at, they handed us masks. Oh my God, we're literally just in the apocalypse right now.
Even Kim Kardashian, who said, shocked and furious to learn smoke from the Woolsey fire started at a former nuclear testing site, Santa Susana Field Lab, and it's potentially radioactive. And the city officials and government was denying everything.
They're saying there's nothing to worry about. They've checked it. Everything is okay.
Now, eventually, they did do tests, and they showed that, oh, the air actually isn't that bad, and it's fine. But those were the government's tests.
Why shouldn't we believe them?
always say that.
Well, why shouldn't we believe?
You shouldn't.
Why?
You can't.
There was other tests that were done that showed the opposite.
From the off-site study that Dr. Cohen did, that even without a fire, in a windy day, especially when it's dry and a lot of dust, that the dust can travel for miles.
Right now, more people will have died because of the after effects of 9/11 than died that day.
Jesus.
There's another theory for why the Woolsey fire started, and it might have been to distract us from something even more suspicious.
Yeah, distract.
Devastating. The campfire.
You see the air around right now. It looks like a war zone, a little post-apocalyptic. That's due to the campfire.
The campfire started 8 hours before the Woolsey fire, and it lasted 17 days. It's the most dangerous and most destructive wildfire in California history, and it's the 4th deadliest in US history. Except on the news, we heard way more about the Woolsey Fire. Which is crazy, because just to put in perspective, the Woolsey Fire burned 1,600 buildings and 3 lives were lost. The Camp Fire burned 18,793 buildings and 85 lives were lost.
The television reports simply don't do it justice.
Do you know what you mean by campfire though?
I'm like lost here because it's unrecognizable here.
The entire town of Paradise was completely
So I'll be like,
destroyed, and the videos and images of
screaming
the fire
really, I can't scream.
straight out of a movie.
Until you actually look
I know.
at the people that were affected and what's left up there in Paradise, you don't really see it as real.
This is it. This is the hottest it's gonna get. Behind the fucking house.
Man is no match for nature.
Paradise is gone. Paradise is lost. And it's getting close to Chico. There's about 100,000 people in Chico.
Out of Chico.
Get out of Chico. I don't know. But from what I heard, Paradise, California no longer exists.
I mean, I've never seen anything like this. It was awful. People trying to drive out of their neighborhoods while their cars are surrounded by flames.
I mean, we had to drive. I could feel the heat in my car as I'm driving.
It's getting hot. Okay, keep your windows rolled up.
Can't see.
I can't either, but we're okay. Oh, hold on. Hold on.
People having to run out of town on foot, but because of all the smoke, they didn't know if they were running away from or toward the flames.
15-year-old kids that didn't know where to go, just started throwing people in the truck.
It was crazy, yet all I heard about when I turned on the news was the Woolsey Fire. So I was that. Well, right as people started talking about Camp Fire on Twitter, a lot of pictures and videos were being released of what people thought were direct energy weapons. People were also questioning, how did this fire happen? Why did it spread so fast? Why weren't people evacuated?
The town councilman says only about 1 in 8 people told them they got a mass notification that day.
How did this become such a...
1 in 8 people told them they got a mass notification that day.
How did this become such a huge disaster with no warning?
So you got no phone call?
No.
You got no alert on your cell phone?
No.
There's a lot of people, they didn't even
Should've
have
been.
time to get their stuff. And those that did, they had very limited time.
All of those things combined created a lot of conspiracies. And then right when people started tweeting about it, and those pictures of the direct energy weapons were going viral, boom, the Woolsey Fire. And the Woolsey Fire isn't just any old fire. It's a fire that started right in a neighborhood where all the big celebrities live. You know how much the news loves celebrities.
A lot of celebrities have also lost their homes as the fire rages on. Celebrities who live in the fire-ravaged areas have been sharing their own stories.
The music makes it so...
We haven't been told to evacuate just yet.
Several other celebrities, including Alyssa Milano, Rainn Wilson, and Cher. Actor Gerard Butler posted a video on Snapchat of what's left.
Man, I ain't never seen a fire in my fucking life.
Dick posted this photo on Instagram.
That is extremely scary. I've never seen anything like that.
Miley Cyrus also lost her home.
So of course now the whole world is talking
It's like far away, but it's not.
You think they got fires in the hood in Carroll City, bitch?
Irish American actor Pierce Brosnan. This is footage of the home of the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills star.
Hey, low-key, I'm kind of scared.
Her animals made it out safely.
Welcome to my home in Malibu.
Oh, my backyard is literally on fire. Swear to God.
Holy shit.
Charlie, we're fine. We're at Zuma Beach.
Ah! Get the fuck out! Bitch!
Cool.
And a few hours later, it's like the campfire didn't even happen. And all of the conspiracies and questions about it started to disappear. Because everyone wanted to know, is Kim and Kanye's house okay?
What if it is? Let's see.
Please help us.
There was an image of this giraffe that I guess everyone knows there, Stanley the giraffe, in Malibu. It really stirred up, you know, there were celebrities tweeting about Stanley and...
Please help us to be safe.
People are concerned. What can you tell us about Stanley?
I've heard that.
Well, Stanley is kind of an infamous giraffe. If you go on Instagram, very, very popular. I wasn't able to actually meet Stanley the giraffe because Kylie Jenner was there.
Oh, really? What's the point?
Don't know if the house made it or not.
Now the final theory, and to me
So
the most
familiar.
realistic, is that maybe the government didn't start these fires. Maybe some of these fires
I'm so shook.
were started by homeowners themselves. Now, every year in California, we're warned that the Santa Ana winds are dangerous.
So many theories within this one theory.
It can cause brush fires across our mountains.
And of course, the big concern is
how big the wind is.
Are these winds?
The winds are expected reporting to flare up big time tomorrow.
And all it takes is just one spark.
And every year, pretty much at the same time, multiple fires break out.
Pretty much happens every year. When it doesn't,
Don't know how to spell giraffe.
Well, let's say I'm a homeowner who doesn't want to live in my house anymore, can't afford it, or just wants a change. And now it's that time of year where my area is affected by fires. What could I do?
Cool, so I'm excited to burn this place down, man. It's gonna be cool. So...
Now I know the idea of somebody setting their house on fire sounds crazy, but it's definitely something that's happened a lot.
I told you I catch this house on fire. Let it burn.
You're inside what? Are you stupid?
Someone to set a fire intentionally, I just can't even comprehend that.
People have been setting their houses on fire and collecting insurance money for years.
Yeah, I was about to say that. For insurance?
But the problem is when you do that, you usually get caught because they do an investigation and they find out where the fire started.
Boom, fire happens. Then you got the police department, the fire department out there. You have fencing, people fencing up your property.
It was an accident.
Yeah, that's what they all say. What, cooking?
But if you lived in Southern California, and it's around that time where the Santa Ana winds are picking up.
And for now, insurance companies are acting very quickly to help those in need in these wildfires.
And there's already a huge fire warning within a 50-mile radius of your house.
Until that comes back on and these winds die down, this neighborhood will remain under evacuation.
Technically, if your house did catch fire, it could have just been the winds or an ember.
The embers could end up being picked up by those winds.
Or a hot spot, and nobody would question it.
Oh no, not again.
It's okay, Betty. Your insurance covers fire damage.
And you get a huge payday.
Oh, thank goodness.
Yeah.
If I were an insurance company, I would definitely be thinking about reducing the number of customers I have in the state.
Now, I talked to somebody who's very well versed in the home insurance world.
Too light.
And they told me that this theory isn't that crazy. So I'm going to act out exactly what he said to me. It's definitely not uncommon, Shane, especially when you're in a neighborhood that's overpopulated with ducks. And then I said, ducks? Yes, ducks. When you see ducks, they're so serene and so calm, and they look like they don't have a care in the world.
Imagine how easy it must be to be a duck.
I know, they got like no concern.
They're floating around and just trying to follow the crowd. But if you look just beneath the surface, their legs are moving fast. They're just trying to stay above water. They're panicking. They can't pay their bills. They can't pay for their house.
Their feet are just going.
They spent all their money on Gucci. The IRS is going to
Gucci, oh my god, oh my god.
So what do?
They have wonderful web feet to propel them along.
And then he said, the first thing I thought when I saw the fires spreading to Calabasas, the land of former rappers, bankrupt musicians, ex-reality stars, and actors who can't get cast anymore.
You're stressed out, you know, and you're looking for some kind of...
Those people who just got all those money are so lucky.
...to kind of escape the darkness or the finances, right?
Ducks.
The Woolsey fire has destroyed homes in so many communities.
I don't get it.
Calabasas among them.
So that's most of the theories. Direct energy weapons, electric companies making our appliances explode, government wanting to make room for better, bigger things, the railway clearing the path, government wanting to distract us from things we should be really focusing on, and of course the idea of insurance fraud. Now there's a lot of theories and not a lot of answers, but one thing is for sure, this was devastating, and it was very real, and so many people need help. So I'm going to be putting links down below, and there's a bunch of ways that you guys can help those who were affected. And hopefully soon, we'll find out why this happened.
The start. Oh yeah, it's about to end.
Apple promises to fix a major glitch that lets people eavesdrop on you. Customers first noticed the glitch today.
I didn't pick up the phone yet. How would that make any sense?
Right,
Some people said that they could hear the person they called even before that person picked up.
Oh, you didn't really hear? Yeah, I did. Yes, we did. You heard it.
Apple says it will have a software update to fix the bug later this week. Until that happens, experts suggest you disable FaceTime.
1, 2, 3.
Dun dun. Cool, more on that phone one then. What do you mean 2 of 6? Oh, the 6th of February? Oh, that's great, because then I'll be the final upload will be, okay, I hope that's right. The 6th of February. It's gonna be the 7th, I bet. Casinos?
Okay.
Your turn.
Is there anything you noticed about it that seems off?
It's so real.
Wait, is it weird walking in there with a camera?
Oh. And she goes, "Are you filming? What is? There's something going on."
She asked if you were filming.
I said no. And she's like, no, it's it's just crazy back there. And I'm like, what is on there?
Yeah, I did hear what she said about that.
Well, she has to find out. Pretty sure I already did.
But he's that good.
I'm scared about talking about this on my channel.
You're being the security camera.
Dun dun. What'd that say?
You're being the security camera.
Security camera? Dun dun. Oh my god.
If I was like an investigative reporter, right? I feel like I'm allowed to say all this.
You'll be $1 million.
Because like, that's just the facts.
He's a good reporter.
No wait, no it's not. It's just
even though he's not. Wow. What is that music then? Right guys, I'm moving through here. This is part 4 of part 1, I guess. I don't know how I'm not saying the title, but yeah guys, opinions. Let's say the opinions. I should say the opinions on the last part, I guess, instead of the actual video, so I guess you'll have to wait for part 2, part 4 if it's the same. It might be like 1 hour, just 1 hour, I don't know how long it's going to be. We're going to just have to find out. But anyway guys, I'm going to do this video here, but before we do, the phone one really scares me, I guess, because it's true. Like, when this went pop, and then, hey Siri, it just said hey on there, and nothing said Siri, and just said hey. So hold on, it's like you just held it instead of saying the word hey.
Hi, Nathan.
And yeah, it said that, and I was like, I didn't say hey, no, I said Siri. Siri hey. If you say it the other way around, Siri hey. Siri hey. Weird, I guess. Yeah guys, the phone, that was scary. So it's like recording all the time, I believe that. The cartoon one, that's scary too. But I don't know how it would influence children, because they'll just forget about all that stuff. The dollar thing is very it's just true, alright? If you're ugly, go away. Piss off. I'll fire you in an instant. And the fire one is really scary. How did it start? I don't know. The laser one, the contamination one is more believable, but yeah, was that all the ones? I don't know. Let's just scroll back. Oh, the face one. Oh my god, that's scary too. But yeah, guys, I'm gonna leave this video here for today. I can't believe he's done 1 hour 40 minutes of this. Happy face clock watches. I'm gonna leave this video for today. I'm glad part 2 is coming out later, so I can get all these uploaded. So yeah, but no, guys, I'm leaving this video here for today. Thank you guys for watching this video. Like that, press on all my social media in the description. If you don't want any video down there, and comment and definitely subscribe to see more about my life. Goodbye everyone, goodbye and stay magical, you're awesome. I hope you like my reactions. I know I'm being quiet, but I don't know what to say really. But yeah, stay magical, you're awesome. And I'm scared now.